Hello and welcome to another round of Dark Helmet Racing League action. My name is Morgan with Cleveland Beamer Sim Sports, and we are live here at Monza. Currently, everybody is lapping about 3 minutes into qualifying, so times will be coming in shortly. This is another round, I believe the 5th round for the GTD challenge with Dark Helmet Racing League. So right now we're going to have a 10-minute qualifying, and then we're going to go into a 15-minute sprint race, followed by a short break, and then we'll be going into a 40-minute feature. So, got a lot of drivers on track. Might have close to 30. We'll see the final numbers here as lap times start to come in. Right now I'm seeing a bunch of purple sectors, so we're going to see who shakes out on top, and then we'll start following these drivers a bit more closely. Brandon Dooley currently at the top of the timing board. Oh, and now times are trickling in, so that is changing up. Ricky Renner taking provisional pole at 1:46.4. Let me get you some leaderboard action. There we go. So I should have the leaderboard there. Looks like audio's coming through, so that's a good sign. And currently following Brandon Powell. Let's go down through the order here and see who we can get. Brandon Dooley currently actually went purple sector 1. A pretty solid lap so far. Philip Scott also about the same part in the lap in the Mustang, doing pretty well. Went purple in sector 3. He's definitely on a lap. Rick Wishon also in the McLaren going through the Lesmos right now. Just went purple in sector 1. Has the fastest of all by a good margin. Setting up for a pretty solid lap there. Gonna follow Ricky Renner here for a moment though, because he has just set a couple of purple sectors. Purple, by the way, means fastest of all. Going across the line here and improves his time up to a 1:46.3. Behind him, Nathan Nickerson in P2 with a 46.6, and then Richard Hibbs with a 46.7. Gonna go back to Brandon Dooley. Doesn't look like he improved a ton on his times at a 47.2 at the moment. Rick Wishon crossing the line and does improve his time. Just set a 1:46.8. Pretty solid time from Rick. Got a ton of other times going through as Mitch slides through. Mitch currently in P8. Rob Dove going through the turn 1 and 2 chicane. Just slid into P9 with a 47.8. A little further down the order, we got Patrick currently at P10 in the BMW. We have Bradley in the chromed out Mustang. Love it. Currently in P11 with a 47.9. Yeah, this is going to be real interesting. This is a pretty big field. Looks like we have close to 30 drivers. Let's go down the order. We have Michael Schwartz here. In the Ferrari, currently going down the backstretch. Hang out with Michael, see how he does here. Using every inch of the track, you can cut that part of the track. And Michael Schwartz leapfrogged himself to P8 with a 1:46.99. Good job, Michael. Let's see. Got Troy Banks out here in the McLaren, just jumped up to P14. Also have Michael Picone here in the McLaren, currently lapping around the Lesmos here. In some competitive sectors, I don't see any personal bests, but still 2 more sectors to go. Definitely a lot more time in it. Who else do we have lapping around here? Josh Betts going around in the Mercedes. I'm loving the diversity in the car choice here. Got a little bit of everybody. Like the Rexy-inspired livery on the Mercedes. Looks pretty good, actually. Let's see. Josh Betts currently in P18. Going a little further down, we have Steven Spies. Steven also in the Ferrari. Going down the backstretch right now. Current personal best is a 48.3. Pretty competitive time. We have pretty much everybody between the 46s and 49s for a 30-card field. That's pretty solid. I think we'll take that. Steven crossing the line does improve. Goes to a 47.9. Nice job, Steven. Let's see, we have JP lapping around here in the McLaren. But everybody's going to stop because...
All right, 15-minute sprint. Should be rolling start. The green flag will be on the leader or the iRacing green flag, whichever comes first. It will be very slow through turn 1 and probably the 2nd and 3rd and 18th chicanes. So please be mindful of that. Give as much space as possible while racing. Thanks again for coming out. Good luck. Have fun. Don't die.
Yeah, just shut my mouth so Brandon can get the message out. And that is great advice. We have 30 cars here. 29 rather, going into a very tight chicane at turn 1, so hopefully everybody's able to keep it clean. Definitely gonna be challenging when it comes to that first chicane, but hopefully we can get through it. Got about a minute left. Everybody getting their opportunity to get their setups in order, and then we are going to go.
Just hoping we don't have a repeat of my official race this morning. We had 34 cars take each other out by turn 2.
You're supposed to say
We don't
that
have enough
after
to do
the
that.
race.
It's fine.
I'm hoping that doesn't happen. Especially since
We don't
only
have enough
29.
to do that. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I hope this goes better.
It was also like
official.
half Brazilian, so.
There does seem to be a little bit of an aggression stereotype out there.
There was literally a guy that quoted the "if you don't go for the gap, you're no longer a racing driver" after 4 people were yelling at him. And I was like, this is terrible.
Was he in a Red Bull livery?
He was in a Bilstein.
Yeah, okay. Same thing.
Bilstein, definitely one of the cars out there that will take people out.
Right.
You go Red Bull livery, Bilstein livery, what else? The Senna livery, and I forget There's always one more out there. Not important. The driver's going up to our short pace lap here. So in the back stretch, start's going to be on green or on the leader, whichever comes first. So the leader, Ricky Renner, getting an opportunity to choose his launch wisely. Ricky in the Aston, going to be followed by Emmett Lindquist in the Corvette, with Nathan Nickerson and Richard Hibbs behind. When I go down through the top 7, it's pretty, actually top 8, all different cars. Pretty amazing to see, actually. Alright, just waiting for the start. And here we go. Looks like Ricky got a pretty solid start. Nobody currently having a run on him. Emmett might have been caught out a little bit, falling down to 3rd. So far, looks clean from everybody. Although, I am seeing some crashing happening. Catch up on those in a minute. We're going to go back to the leader here. Ricky getting a massive lead now. Rich Hibbs getting up to P2. And we have Emmett and Nathan fighting out to see who is going to get into P3. Currently, Emmett coming out on top. As we go further back through the field, so far, we're spreading out a little bit. Whoa, JP going for the Tokyo Drift here in the gravel at the Lesmos. Looks like everybody's spreading out a little bit. We have some incidents that happened at the start, which I think are the cause of that. So far, up front, Ricky Renner, the commanding lead, currently 2 seconds out in front. Not messing around, taking advantage of the fighting behind. Richard Hibbs coming out on top of that fight, but Emmett Lindquist is right on his rear bumper. We'll see how powerful the draft is. Currently, doesn't look like anything is happening here, but we're going to jump to Philip Scott, who is side by side with Rick Wishon. Philip in the Mustang, Rick in the McLaren, and Phil going as late as possible on the brakes. Definitely cut the heck out of that corner. I wonder if he's going to get a slowdown for that. iRacing passively enforces track limits. Given how Phil is on the gas, I think it might just be an off track and no slowdown. Let's go settle down a little bit. So let's go back to the start and see what happened. All right, I see Caesar and Sean Williams. Let's see what's going on here. Currently on board with Sean Williams in the Mercedes, and I see some bumping ahead.
I pooped my pants.
And Sean just taking his time, taking some evasive action. So far, so good. Let's go on to Caesar in the Aston. Ooh, that was optimistic looking at that inside, but you know, nothing terrible there. Todd Swartz had a moment. Todd in the Porsche. See what happens to Todd. Does he also take evasive action? Yep. Jeez, practically a parking lot here. Everybody coming to a stop almost. I'm going with Michael Moon. This is where the bumping started happening. Gets into the rear of the Ferrari. And then is forced to take the apex pavement here. I go Wyatt. Wyatt also had a moment. He's behind all this bumping. And not sure why he thinks he had a crash, but skip past that, skip past this. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going, it keeps going. Let's go Steven Spies here. There we go, something different. Steven, who was rear-ended by Mooney, he's picked up a little bit of damage there. And the car is not happy going around the apex curbing. Let's see. Got another incident from Caesar here. Let's see. The 007 Aston, and just a little too hard on the loud pedal. Nothing crazy there. We are going to go back to live action, though. I am looking at Philip Scott, who's down a few places. Ooh, and loops it. A little bit of chaos happening there. Just Phil a little too eager. Asking for a little more than the rear tires of the Mustang could provide. Collects a few people in the process. Brandon Dooley was talking about an interesting moment earlier. I'm trying to find it. Unfortunately, I don't think I'm going to, so I'm just going to give up on that and see what we have going on here. You know what? Holy smokes, we had like... Ugh. Alright. Looks like the Mustang gets into Brandon and also potentially helps bring him...
Hold on, you saved that?
Back on track.
Not tons of damage.
Alright.
We're going to see if we can pick that back up because a whole lot just happened there. Let's see where this started. So Emmett and Rich were going at it, and Brandon said, well, I will take advantage of that. And then unfortunately, Nathan gets into the back of Brandon, and I think they both get a bit of damage as a result. I definitely see a little bit going on there. Interesting, interesting. Brandon getting back around Nathan. Ooh, it's going to be really held up though. Brandon on the exit getting into the gravel, which just slows you down. It's like hitting a brake, and it looks like Mitch in the Mustang is going to try to take advantage of this. Trying to go around the outside. Currently, Brandon's going to make it through, and Mitch's going to slot through behind Nathan. It is getting feisty out there. Michael Schwartz and Rick Wishon behind Mitch here. Michael in the Ferrari definitely wants that position. Unfortunately for him, so does Rick, who's right there in the McLaren. Let's stay on board with these guys for a moment. I'd say things are coming down here, but Patrick got a pretty good run in the BMW. But unfortunately, that's nullified by this bit of a drafting train. Maybe a little further back, Rob Dove in the Porsche. Thinking about going on the inside for Ryan Frey, but then takes better of it, backs out. Looking a little further ahead. Looks like these guys have all spread out a little bit. Nobody quite in range of a pass yet. Getting into the back of, was that Michael? Let's see if we can get a replay. Michael in the McLaren. Getting into the back of the Ferrari ahead. That will certainly get reviewed later. Let's see who's in passing distance. Well, let's take a look at Nathan, who currently has Mitch all over his rear bumper. Mitch must have had a heck of an exit out of the second Lesmo because he was right there within about a tenth. After Ascari, though, they have spread out a little bit. And we will repeat the cycle again. In the meantime, Ricky Renner just taking advantage of all of this chaos, currently with a 6-second lead over Emmett Lindquist. Ricky just cruising in the Aston right now, doing what he needs to do to secure a good finish here in the sprint. Got about 4 minutes to go here in the sprint. Mitch still working on Nathan here, trying to reel him in. Currently about 3.5 tenths behind. Take a look at Alexander Hamrick, though, who in the Corvette is looking to get around the Lincoln and does so. Excellent job, Alex. These vets look fast out here. I haven't seen the vets be super competitive in some time, but this is definitely the track for it with the current BOP. Take a look at Rick Wishon. Has Patrick in a BMW thinking about getting around. Fortunately, this tough place. You got to either force a pass at the beginning here of Ascari, or you have to just try to do what he did. And oh my God, did he save that?
Great save, Nathan.
That was something. Let's see if we could pick up on that. This is not the one I wanted. Let's try that one. Gets too much of this curb, and oh my goodness, that was awesome. Couldn't have been any closer. And I think something has happened to Nathan Nickerson. Let's take a look. Nathan going incredibly slowly. Let's see if this is the moment right here. Ooh, Nathan also on the exit of Ascari, having one hell of a moment as well, able to collect it, but lost a ton of momentum. Yeah, Ascari claiming a lot of people today. Let's see. Josh Betts in a gaggle of cars here. Josh in the Mercedes. Currently missing a bumper, but is still not giving up. Currently fighting the Porsche of Todd Schwartz here. And Todd has Steven Spies all over him as well. Steven taking that inside. Todd trying to get that momentum on the outside, see what he can do with it, but thinks better of it. Looks like he's going to reset and see what he can do. Stay on board with these guys for a moment. Steven pushing towards the front here, trying to get around Josh Betts. Josh probably going to be down a little bit on top speed with that bodywork missing, rather. And, well, if he is down on top speed, you wouldn't know it. Currently fighting off Steven pretty well here. Now side by side going down the start finish straight. And now for a drag race here into turn 1. This should be the white flag lap. Oh, still going side by side. Josh is not giving up. We're going to go up here. Mitch in P4 had Brandon Dooley all over him. Looks like he will get a temporary reprieve. Nathan got back up to speeds trying to get around Rick, but time is running out as Ricky Renner goes across the line. And maybe this is the white flag lap. I thought the previous lap might have been. Oh, nope. This is the checker flag. All right, I'm not losing my mind. All right, so Ricky Renner finishing P1, Emmett P2, and Rich P3. Mitch Bowen, though, got real close. P4, Brandon Dooley P5. And we're going to have Michael Swartz P6, Rick Wishon P7. And
yeah, get ready, bro.
Nathan Nickerson, P8, Patrick Hammond in P9, and Troy Banks in P10. And there we go. Trying to catch cars while they're running. Looks like everybody has spread out, though. Yep, does not look like we're going to have any other moves happening here, so we're going to go into a 5-minute break. As soon as James Scott here crosses the start-finish line, and then we'll reset and go into our 40-minute feature. So for those of you racing that are also listening for some reason, definitely hang out. You're going to have another opportunity to see what you can do.
At least my last couple laps.
And that's going to do it. So we're going to go into the break here. I'll catch you in a few.
have fun, and have a good week, too. Thanks for racing with us.
Alrighty, we're back. So everybody should be gridding up here, and
Let's try this again.
let's see if I have my grid. I do have my grid. Look at that.
I feel bad.
One more.
Code Brown that was probably happening behind me when my car disappeared.
So shorter grid time here. Everybody has about a minute. And then we shall see.
You guys will have to take a
the
look
sprint's
at the
gonna look
move
like.
that Alex Hamrick threw on, I think, entrance of lap 2. He threw it from a mile back. It was crazy.
Hopefully it's in a good way. That said, if there are things that happen, whether they're missed by iRace control or the replay, or not the replay, but the broadcast here, there is a protest process. Definitely check out the Discord for more info on that, because there is a way to send a protest for items that are not picked up. We definitely want to make sure you have the opportunity to voice your concerns if there's a legitimate issue that was missed. So with that in mind, I'm going to see what's what here. Now, I'm going to have to play with camera views just because I have these fancy views from F1 and they're great, but I also want to make sure that we can see what we want to see at the start, so bear with me. I might be bouncing around camera views. Hopefully it doesn't make anybody sick. And taking a look at the starting order, it looks like we have 27 starting. We have lost 2. That is okay. That is not going to dull our spirits here. Now I know Emmett is probably chomping at the bit here to get a better start this time. So we're going to follow these guys waiting for the start. And here we go. And it does indeed look like Emmett got a better start. Ooh, perfect view. Now I can actually see people. Alright, so we're going into turn 1. So far, so good. Everybody's still alive. We're all checking up. Beautiful. I love it. A little bit of a parking lot out there, but I think overall, I think that's probably gonna do. And man, Ricky again pulling out a pretty decent lead. Okay, it does sound like some shenanigans ensued at the beginning. Ooh, and something just happened to Rich Hibbs. Looks like he went off track. Got some people going way off track. Holy smokes. And Rich Hibbs just falling down the order. Let's go to... What happened to Rich Hibbs? Oh, Rich just losing the rear end. Cold tires. Lap 1. Second Lesmo there. You got to try to carry a lot of speed. Understandable that BMW is not too happy. And we're going to stay on with these guys because Rich has a pretty good run here on Nathan. BMW seeing some refresh the last couple of seasons, much more competitive now, and you're seeing it. It's got plenty of power. And I think Rich was thinking about just pushing Nathan, kind of working together. As Troy there gets a little deep into turn 1. And same thing with Nathan. Rich gets around. Ooh, we're going to go up front with Ricky. Ricky must have had a moment because now Emmett is right there. Uh-oh, and Rich also having a moment. Stay with these guys. Man, all kinds of chaos here. Looks like Brandon Powell's going for the pass here on Troy Banks as well. Troy able to fend him off. Real hard through Ascari here because you got to get the line just right. If you get it just right, you can go full throttle the entire way through, but if you overdrive it, you're going to have to pedal the car a little bit and lose a ton of momentum all the way down here to the Parabolica. Looks like we got some passing
Not bad,
behind
Christian.
as well.
Not bad, Christian.
Christian and Rob getting a little close. Go back up to Troy here. We have a slow car on the inside. What is going on there? That's causing a little bit of chaos.
So sorry.
What's that? Yeah, not sure who the slow Aston Martin was there, but definitely caused a little bit of chaos there. Let's see if that is... No, I don't think that was Caesar. What's that number 7? What's that number 7? Not sure what's going on there. Let's see. Rick Wishon has also had a moment. Looks like Michael was leaving the pits and just bad timing with the group all descending on him. Steven also having a moment. Missing. Oh, wow, wow, wow. Whole bunch of carnage there. Steven Spy's in the Ferrari. Just getting collected by the Aston. And oof, was that Michael Mooney? Let's see. Yep, that indeed was Michael Mooney. Michael, unfortunately, just getting a little bit loose there on the rear end. Let's see if we can get a better look at this. And pick it up there. Yeah. Looks like Mike's gonna come out okay, but there was a whole bunch of people caught up in that. Yeah. That is definitely unfortunate. Let's see if we can get back into live action here. Missing all kinds of good stuff. Everybody's spreading out a little bit, but we definitely have a bunch of close gaps, starting with our leader. Currently has Emmett Lindquist about a half second behind. Then we go to Michael Schwartz, which is about 0.8 behind Brandon Dooley. We go to Brandon Powell here, who has definitely got a run on Troy Banks. And it looks like he's going to get it done. Oh, maybe not. Braked a little early, but you know what? Troy went a little late, so I think that Brandon might get it done here. Should have the run. Not taking the defensive line yet into turn one. Let's see how this goes. All right, and Powell gets it done. Nice job. We're going to go up front. Ricky Renner. Well, Emmett Lindquist just pushing him through. Got as close as he could be in that rear view. Looks like these guys are trying to just separate. Emmett saying, hey, I'm going to work with you, get us some separation, and then I'm sure we're going to fight. Liking what I'm seeing here. A whole bunch of stuff going on here. Let's see, Ricky Renner crashed. What? Let's see what happened with Renner. Oh, okay. I don't know why that thinks that's a crash, but we're going to work with it. So that's how they got so close. Let's take a look here. We have Alexander Hamrick. What happened with Alex? He's just going to go a little too deep in there. No harm, no foul. Spin for insult there, but that's okay. No damage on the car. And then James Scott had him running here. What's happening with James Scott? Not just losing the rear, going out of Ascari. Yeah, it's a punishing place on everybody today. Ryan Gray also just having a moment. Ryan is in the Aston here. Also losing that rear end. And doesn't hit anything, so he should be able to get going just fine. Taking a look at Ricky Renner. Emmett, again, right there behind him. Emmett using this Corvette to his advantage, able to push through and stay right on his bumper. Keep an eye on these guys, but I do want to work my way through the field. We have Michael Schwartz all the way up into 5th place here in the Ferrari, right behind Brandon Dooley in the Acura, and Michael able to get around Brandon. I wonder if Brandon had a slowdown. Looks like he lifted to facilitate that pass. And going a little further down through the field, Troy Banks still fighting with Brandon Powell. Troy staying right there. Definitely wants that position back. Going a little further down, Cesar Torres here, right behind the Porsche of Christian Torres. Cesar using every bit of track there around the Parabolica to get some momentum. And he is slowly reeling Christian in. He's thinking about a move on the inside. Late on the brakes. Who's going to be later? And Caesar's going to get it done and able to hold the apex. Nice job, Caesar. That's a nice move. A little further down the field, we have a nice battle here between Josh Betts, Rob Dove, and Philip Scott. These three all fighting to see who's going to retain 13th. Keep an eye on them as this progressive, and oh man, Rob did not get the exit that he wanted there. That's okay, no damage on the car. He's going to be able to fight and see what he can do there. Philip Scott hanging it out all around the Lesmos, getting into the gravel, going side by side. Oh my gosh, with that Aston there, it looks like that Aston may be lap traffic that's causing a bit of our chaos here. Who is that Aston? Let's see, what number is on the Aston? Of course I'm going to miss it. It's number 616. Who are you? That's Ryan Frey. So the guys getting through lap traffic, creating a little opportunity for some drivers. Going a little further back, we have Mark Sherman and Bradley Tidwell going at it. Currently P18 and 19. Bradley in the Ford going on the inside of Mark. And looks like he will get that done. And you know what? I'm going to go up front because we are going to have a change for the lead. Emmett Lindquist able to get around Ricky Renner. Let's see if I can get a little better view of that pass. Looks like Emmett was able to get a run out of the turn 1-2 chicane to make things happen here for turn 3 and 4. I don't even know if it's turn 3 and 4, but I'm going to make it up as I go along. They have names, and I cannot remember them off the top of my head, but nice job, Emmett, getting it done. And then something has happened because Ricky Renner got back around and has a pretty convincing lead. Let's see if we can catch that. Oh, and Emmett just goes way off at the Lesmos. And that's going to create a massive gap. All that work. Currently a 2.5 second lead for Ricky. Now we'll see if Emmett can find a way to claw it back. That puts Emmett in the clutches of Mitch Bowen. Currently flying in that for, or Mustang rather. So we have Michael Schwartz's Ferrari in the background. Brandon Dooley let Michael go several laps ago, but has now reeled Michael back in. I think he wants that position back. Currently not going to happen yet. This is a deceitfully hard track to pass at. And passing here is as much about not making mistakes when the drivers around you may be making mistakes, just because this is a momentum track. So going off at the second Lesmo that we just went through, for example, costs you so much time because you're paying for that slowdown for at least 20 seconds here until you get into Ascari. Oh. And something has happened to Ricky Renner because now Emmett is right on his bumper and has a run. And it looks like Emmett is going to get around again. Let's see if he holds on to it this time. Let's see if I can find the moment. And unfortunately, whatever happened to Ricky did not get picked up by my software. Ricky looking a little slow, but car looks fine. think he's just getting back up to speed. And looks like Phyllis Scott was able to get around Josh Betts. Let's take a look at that real quick. Going down the start-finish straight, looks like it's just going to be a case of who's going to be brave on the brakes. Oh, no. Philip just going to take it on merit down the straight. Nice job, Phil. Well, you know what? I'm going to see how these guys go through Ascari, and then I think I'm just going to go down the messy way and find out what happened here. Yep. So this is the moment of the pass, but we're going to go a little further back. I hate doing it this way. Go to Ricky. I think Ricky's just playing a little cat and mouse.
Bumpers, but just so you know, might be good to get that repaired sooner than later.
Well, as these guys continue to fight, I don't think anything's happening there for a minute. All right, take a look at Brandon Dooley, who's reeling in Michael. Not going to happen yet. You know, and I look away from these guys for 2 seconds, and we now find Mitch Bowen in P2 and Emmett Lindquist in P3. Emmett looks like had a moment. We're going to see here. Looks like Emmett got a slowdown, just took too much of the apex curving through the chicane. Had to let these guys go. That'll definitely do it. And now these guys getting into lap traffic. My goodness, this has only been 20 minutes, and this has been just a challenge to keep up with all this. And Brandon Dooley here in the background, working on Michael Schwartz, was able to get around in the back straight. Let's see if he can hold on to it. Brandon staying as far away as possible so Michael can't get the side draft. Looks like Brandon will hold on to it. Nathan looks like he has gone into the pit. Looks like he is working some magic here when it comes to the pit cycle. Troy Banks getting real close to Brandon Powell, but not close enough to make a move. Ooh, and Brandon just a little too hard on the loud pedal out of the turn 1-2 chicane, but was able to collect it. This did allow Troy to get by, but nice save from Brandon. Going a little further back, Caesar all over Christian. Don't think he's close enough to make a move here into the chicane. Take a little more conservative line though, and that may allow him to get the run into the first Lesmo here. And indeed it does. Nice job. A lot of patience being exercised here by everybody. This is not a track where you can necessarily force the move. And Emmett Lindquist getting around Mitch. Let's see if these guys can work together to reel in Ricky. Ricky currently with a 1.7 second lead. And looks like car coming out of the pits waiting for the leaders to go by. definitely appreciate that. And Brandon Powell right up on the bumper of Troy Banks, but needs to be a little bit closer to make something happen in turn 1. Keep working my way down through the field here, just seeing who's close. Christian Ortiz here, working his way back up to Caesar. And just non-stop. Oh my gosh, that went off tracks, huh? Let's see that. Lesmo strike again. It's just a little off track. Just a little one. I bet you Rich Hibbs is going to do the exact same thing. He sure is. Good stuff. Get back up to Brandon Dooley here. Just seeing what's what. Michael is definitely not giving up the fight here. Staying within a few tenths, but not going to make it happen going into the turn 1-2 chicane. A little further back. Christian Torres still working his way up. Oh, and he's going to get the move done because Caesar just went to the pits.
Thanks, bud.
And Ricky definitely getting light on fuel now because he just set the fastest lap of the race, 146.1, and that's 01. Looks like he is pushing to get into the pits here, extending his lead to just over 2 seconds. Pit cycle's definitely spreading everybody out a bit. Not these two though. Michael is staying right there with Brandon. A little further back. Philip Scott reeling in, or being reeled in by Josh Betts. Josh not getting quite the exit he needed out of there, so that gap is extended. Ooh, we're gonna go up to Brandon though. Something happened.
Heading this lap, Patrick.
I think Brandon just setting up for the pit entry here. Looks like everybody went in. Ricky's in, Emmett's in, Mitch is in. That's going to put Michael Schwartz out in P1 in the Ferrari. Everybody else in the top 10 has a pit. We're going to see where Mitch comes out here. Looks like Ricky is out already. Emmett got a little bit of time on Ricky. And Brandon following close behind. I'm going to guess that Michael is going to be pitting this lap. This will certainly make things interesting here. Oof. These guys just sending it through the chicane. We're gonna take a look at Christian here, who is trying to get around Caesar. Not gonna happen this time by. Philip Scott right there. Now making this a three-way battle for P10. And Michael Shorts in the pits. This will now get interesting. Alright, so Ricky Renner going by the start-finish straight. And Michael Schwartz coming out. And he has made his exit. Let's see if Brandon gets around or if he's going to fend him off. Nope. Brandon will get by as well. Michael slots into P5. We're going to go back to our battle here for P10. Philip slotting into the draft, trying to use that forward horsepower. But that Porsche in the tow is extremely strong. Caesar and the Aston Martin pulling them all with him. It's a nice battle we have going on. Watching the guys ahead real slowly. We have Emmett Lindquist currently 9/10 behind Ricky Renner. And we have Brandon Dooley about 3/10 behind Mitch. And Mitch is about 8/10 behind Emmett. Now this is going to get interesting here because the Aston Martin with Caesar went into the gravel on the second Lesmo, and that's just going to kill his momentum. And Philip Scott,
Sorry, my bad. I brow broke myself.
trying to capitalize, but unfortunately loops Christian. See if we can get another look at that here in a moment. Get to the right camera and let's see what this looks like. So Philip getting a run and did try that from a ways back. That was not going to work, and that will happen every time. Hopefully Phil waits for him. We'll catch that in the post-race review. These guys get to fight that out on track. Let's take a look at Ricky. Currently about 7/10 ahead of Emmett. Something has happened further behind because Mitch is now 6 seconds behind these guys. Not sure what could have caused that because I don't see any particular moments jumping up on my screen. But we do have these guys going through lots of lap traffic, so I'm just wondering if ooh, and stuff has gone down. I see Emmett off track. Let's see what happened there. Ooh, that's not good. Let me see the beginning of this, please. Okay, maybe not. To do it the old-fashioned way. And that rear end was already stepping out. Yeah, rear tires on the Corvette just not happy. That is unfortunate.
You're good.
Sorry.
Yeah, it looks like Caesar is able to get around Josh Betts. up into P9.
Nice save, John.
Like the fire out of the Aston. Alright, looks like Philip Scott and Christian Ortiz still going at it. What else we have going on here? We have Rob Dove and Bradley Tidwell also fighting. Looks like that's the battle for P13. And this has definitely been a high attrition race. Looks like we're down to about 21 drivers after all the mayhem. And I see my timing and scoring has not been up, so that's fun. There we go. Only 30 minutes into the race, but we finally have the graphics. Wonder how long those have been gone. Looks like basically the whole time. Lovely. Alright, looks like Michael may have had a moment. Let's check that out. Just a little too much. Looks like the damage should be fairly minimal. He should be good to go. And let's hop up front here. Currently have Ricky Renner in P1, Mitch Bowen now in P2, followed by Brandon Dooley and Michael Schwartz. These guys are doing pretty much the exact same times. In fact, Dooley and Mitch separated a little bit, but Brandon Dooley, or rather Mitch and Michael Schwartz, within 2/100ths of a second last lap. These guys are spacing out a little bit though. Let's take a look at Philip Scott and Christian Ortiz. Christian trying to fight off that track. Looks like he will be successful this time by turn 1 chicane. Brandon Powell currently working on Todd Schwartz. Todd currently P16 in the Porsche. Slowly reeling him in, about 4 tenths behind. Oh, and Brandon Powell's going to get the move done, moving up to P16. Nice job, Brandon. Taking a look ahead, it looks like Patrick Hammond's currently working on Richard Hibbs, both in the BMW. Rich in P5 at the moment. Currently fighting these guys off. Lap time's pretty competitive with the cars ahead. Seen pretty much all of them in the 46.6s. It's really going to be down to who is and isn't going to make any mistakes. Patrick, though, slowly but surely reeling in Richard. Only a couple of tenths behind. These guys also getting through lap traffic. The McLaren between Rich and Michael is definitely a lap car. Looks like that McLaren ahead is the P20 car of Michael Picone. I believe that is our last driver on the lead lap. These guys just went and lapped him. Thank you, Michael, for letting these guys through. Looks like our battles have settled down a little bit. Ricky Renner still running up front. Got about an 8.5 second gap to Mitchell here, who has somebody crashing ahead. Mitchell and Brandon able to get through. Looks like that was Alexander Hamrick having a bad day through Ascari. Then Michael Swartz working his way down, currently in P4. Richard Hibbs holding on to that P5 with Patrick behind. Let's see if we can see what happened to Alex. Is this just going to be another textbook? Ascari currently way offline. Yep. That is just unfortunately one of the things that can happen going through Ascari. Once you get off the racing line there, you have to make some pretty key decisions there to avoid it going super crazy. Alex getting a little caught up in that. Happens to the best of them. Brandon Dooley slowly reeling Mitch in. About 6 tenths between these guys. Track really settled down now. Attrition really making some of these guys think twice about the risk that they're willing to take. Right now, this is the closest battle. Patrick about 3.5 tenths behind Richard. Rich Hibbs, though, still getting the better exit.
Renner. Yeah, great race, guys.
And as these guys cross the line, that is going to do it. Ricky Renner finishing P1,
I wanted to watch
holding
that
it
battle
down.
back there.
Mitch Bowen getting
there wasn't much to watch.
P2, Brandon Dooley P3, Mike Schwartz P4, and Richard Hibbs holding off that P5. Let's see.
Yeah, I kind of watched it from back here. Could you guys actually have done something?
Yeah,
Fight hard.
Philip Scott trying to track down Christian, but it's not
Nice
going to
race, Tidwell. That
happen.
was fun.
And going down through the order,
Mitch was just fast enough so I could never catch up,
unless
and I didn't really
something
need to battle him
happens,
'cause it
this
wasn't
is
for the
how
same
it's
spot.
going to be.
Nice job, Brad. Dude, that Mustang is so quick out of the exit.
Now, it looks like we had some great battles all the way through the field. It was nice seeing a lot of clean racing out there. Definitely some incidents too, but thankfully, you know, those, one, those things happen, but two, we have a post-race review process that will pick those up and deal with those accordingly. We also realize mistakes happen. We have kind of a, I don't want to say a no-fault system, but there is a penalty system that really tracks throughout the season. It takes an incredible event to warrant immediate action. Most of the time, what will happen is incidents will go towards incident points, and after you accumulate a certain amount of incident points, there may be drive-throughs or things like that later down the road, but it takes quite a few for action actually to take place, and I think only a handful of drivers have actually had
Not
to
anymore.
serve any kind of actual penalties.
Power
So,
issues.
with that
No,
being said,
but,
I
we
should
did
have
okay.
some final results. And there we go. I'll let these play out for a minute.
good.
Again, for nearly 30 cars on track, I think everybody did a great job
did
keeping
have to go
things
back
clean,
in
and
mess
looking
around
forward
with,
to seeing
outputs
another
for in-game
battle
'cause
like this.
I
I
didn't
think
hear
the
anybody.
tracks throughout the rest of the season are just going to get bigger and better, and certainly look forward to the battles that will come with those. Looking a little ahead, we should have our Tuesday MX5 series racing at Indy here on Tuesday, so that should be a heck of a battle. And then we're going to be back at it with the GTD Challenge, and next track will be Suzuka, and Suzuka being Suzuka, it will also be a wet race, so practice for that. It's going to be intense. Well, that's going to do it for me here at the Cleveland Beamer Sim Sports channel. My name is Morgan, and we will catch you next time. Cheers.